Have you ever realized the people who are supposed to love you the most might be using you, and you're the only one paying the price? This is my story. I just finished a grueling 12-hour shift at the warehouse. My body ached, my hands were rough and calloused, and all I wanted was to get home, collapse on the couch, and forget the world for a few hours. Life was exhausting, but I had pride in what I'd built for myself. A small house, a steady job, a bit of savings. I thought I was doing everything right. As I pulled into my driveway, Mr. Thompson, my neighbor, waved from his garden. "Ryan, haven't seen your parents around lately?" he asked casually. "They're on a cruise with your sister," he added. My hand froze on the car door. My heart sank. The Bahamas. My parents living in luxury on my money. 3 days earlier, my mother, Claire, had called me crying, panic in her voice. Dad, Greg, needed medicine they couldn't afford, the heating bill was overdue, and they might not make it through the month. I didn't hesitate. I sent $800, more than the usual $600, because they sounded desperate. I thought I was helping them survive. And now, there they were, posting photos online, cocktails in hand, shopping, smiling on the deck of a cruise ship, all while I worked myself to the bone just to keep our lives stable. Olivia, my perfect sister, married to a wealthy man, never worked a day in her life, and always looked down on my blue-collar job, was the golden child. She got the praise, the attention, the admiration. I was the son who sacrificed, who toiled, who gave everything, scrolling through timestamps, geotags, and vacation photos, the undeniable proof of their lies. My emergency transfer had gone through just hours before they boarded. The weekly $600 transfers over the past year, funding dinners, shopping sprees, and luxury trips I never knew existed. It wasn't just money. It was betrayal layered over years of manipulation. I realized that I had been their personal ATM. Every crisis, real or fabricated, was an excuse to take more from me. Just until Dad gets back on his feet, they'd said. Just until Mom's health improves. Just until the bills are caught up. And each time, I believed them. Meanwhile, Olivia got all the praise, love, and attention. I got guilt, stress, and obligations I didn't sign up for. My girlfriend, Emma, had noticed it long before I did. "It's always an emergency, isn't it?" she asked one night. "And it's always right before a weekend or holiday." I made excuses, told myself I was overthinking it. But Emma saw clearly what I couldn't or wouldn't. That night, she held me as I finally released the years of rage, heartbreak, and exhaustion. The realization that my parents had been exploiting me, and Olivia had always been their favorite. The next morning, I called in sick to work for the first time in 3 years. I drove to their house, rehearsing what I would say. Every suspicious moment from the past replayed in my mind. Mom crying about property taxes while showing off a designer purse on Facebook, Dad complaining about bills while bragging to the neighbors about new golf clubs. The pattern was undeniable. They had been manipulating me for years. When I walked in, they acted casual. Their response to my cold, silent stare? Not shame, not apology, just annoyance. "You wouldn't have fit in," Dad said dismissively. It was a luxury cruise, Olivia and Matt's kind of thing. I opened my banking app right there and canceled all automatic payments. I watched panic spread across their faces like wildfire. Begging, pleading, promises to do better, all too late. I walked out, feeling a mix of anger, relief, and liberation I hadn't felt in years. Later, Olivia arrived, dripping concern, trying to manipulate me with guilt about our parents' struggles and health crises. She tried to make me feel selfish, like I was abandoning them. But Emma stepped forward, calm and firm. "Neither is his responsibility," she said. Olivia tried twisting the story, but it didn't work. I blocked their numbers. The line was drawn. The first few weeks were surreal. I couldn't believe how light I felt without the constant drain of supporting people who saw me only as a resource. I began saving for my future instead of funding their lies. I opened retirement accounts, started planning small vacations, and spent on things Emma and I actually wanted. The guilt faded slowly, replaced by peace. Boundaries weren't selfish, they were survival. I wasn't a bad son. I was finally learning to value myself. I thought about all the missed moments, all the small sacrifices I had made, and all the times I had defended their lies. Every time doubt crept in, I reminded myself, family isn't just blood. It's respect, appreciation, and reciprocity. Love without respect isn't love. Financial abuse doesn't just happen in romantic relationships. It can happen with the people who are supposed to care about you most. Months went by. Sometimes I would wake in the middle of the night, panic that I had forgotten to send money, thumb hovering over their contact info. The habit was ingrained. But slowly, step by step, I replaced fear with freedom. I prioritized my life without guilt, recognized manipulation for what it was, and finally enjoyed the rewards of my hard work. Walking away from my parents didn't mean I had failed. It meant I had succeeded in valuing myself enough to demand better. Boundaries aren't cruelty, they're self-preservation. You can't keep pouring from an empty cup. And for the first time, I felt something I had never felt before. Peace. Emma and I started planning our future together, small but meaningful. Vacations we could finally take without stress or guilt, celebrating milestones knowing no one would take advantage of our love, our time, or our resources. I realized I'd found a new family, the one I chose, the one that chose me back. The lessons became clear. Helping others shouldn't come at the expense of helping yourself. Genuine love builds you up rather than drains you dry. Walking away from those who abuse or manipulate you doesn't make you heartless. It makes you wise. Sometimes, the most loving act you can perform is to prioritize yourself. If you've ever been taken advantage of by someone you love, remember this. It's okay to set boundaries. It's okay to say no. It's okay to put yourself first. Don't let guilt control you or manipulation steal your peace. You deserve to live a life that's truly yours. Freedom isn't measured in money, vacations, or possessions. Freedom comes from being honest with yourself, recognizing manipulation, and refusing to be part of a cycle of abuse. It comes from understanding that you're not responsible for fixing the irresponsibility of others. I've never been happier. I've never felt lighter. Every day, I wake up knowing I'm living for myself, for my future, and for the people who genuinely care about me. My parents may never understand, and Olivia may continue pretending everything is normal, but their choices no longer control my life. If this story resonates with you, remember, it's okay to set boundaries, walk away from toxic relationships, and put yourself first. Share this story with someone who needs to hear it. Like, comment, and subscribe for more real-life stories of courage, standing up for yourself, and reclaiming your life.